Hi everyone, it's Louise again and back with another video on our moving home series. And today's is the how on earth am I going to do this? All of the admin and the things that you need to do that keep buzzing around your head and you wonder how on earth you're going to get it done while still juggling life and all the things that you normally have to do and you're busy enough. As I've said before, I have got notes because I could just talk forever. Anybody that knows me will know that. And also just to make sure that I don't forget to tell you anything that I think is really helpful. So similar to the preparation stage really, with the admin, start as soon as you know that you're going to be moving. Things like get your quotes from removal vans and book them as soon as you know that the date of when you're going to be moving. Start your decluttering and organising. No surprise that I'm mentioning that. But start packing things up as soon as possible. The things that you don't use that often, maybe the spare room or some books that you still want to keep, but you're not going to need them in that short time between starting to pack up and actually moving. Invest in good quality materials. So if you're using packing boxes yourself, make sure they're nice and strong. The last thing that you want is your precious items when they're being moved and the bottom falls out of the box. And use plenty of tape, strong, good quality tape. Personally, I invest in a little tape gun, which is much easier because you can just run it along rather than trying to hold both ends, and it means that you don't need as many hands to do it. So those are some of the kind of packing side of things, but more on the admin side. So there's so many people that you need to tell, and especially if you've been in your property for a while, you may not think of them all. So the key ones really that you need to tell are your utilities. And again, I would tell them as soon as possible that you are going to be moving and just confirm the date once you know what it is. And this is also a great opportunity to review any tariffs that you're on, because even if they normally charge you like a fee to get out of a contract, if you're moving, quite often those will be waived, and they'll also be keen to make sure that you're on the right tariff for your new property. Things like your phone. So I was with BT, and one of the things that I actually got from them was a mini hub. So basically it meant that we didn't have any time without any Wi-Fi. And I have an 11-year-old with an Xbox. And I can assure you that one of the most stressful things about moving would have been if we had no Wi-Fi, even for a couple of hours. Now, they don't necessarily give this automatically, but it is worth asking, is there something that they can do? Whether it's BT or any other provider, but ask them if they've got something that they can provide you so that you don't have any drop time in Wi-Fi. Let's face it, with TV shows streaming and children with Xboxes and things like that, we can really do without being without Wi-Fi for even a day. The other important ones to advise are places like the council for your council tax, the electoral roll, but you can't do that until you've actually moved, and your driving licence. These are all things that you can actually get fined for not updating, so it's important to make sure that you do actually do that. And change of address is a big one. Personally, I love a list. No surprises there. And I have a spreadsheet with each of the places that I need to advise, and so I can kind of tick it off once I've told them. As you receive post as well, you can add to that list. So whether you use a spreadsheet like me or you just have a piece of paper and you write it down, but as you receive post, actually think about, is this something that I still want to receive? Or is it time to unsubscribe? Quite often we just get post automatically and it goes in the shredding or the bin. But actually, as you're moving home, it's a good time to take stock again and say, do I still want this post coming to me? And if it's a yes, then we can add it to the list to let them know the change of address once we know it. Also go through your emails. So personally, I have a kind of membership folder of anything that I sign up to or newsletters and things like that. So actually I just scroll through that and think about companies there that I might need to let know. Have one document. So I created a document that's basically like a really simple change of address saying my name, the children's names, our old address and our new address. So I could print this off if I needed to actually send it to somebody where they need a physical signature, but equally copy and paste it where maybe I'm sending an email or logging into like an online account, and I can just copy and paste the address rather than having to type it every time. Other things to think about are things like items that you have on pre-order, so things like Amazon. Quite often you might be a book or something like that you order on pre-order. Now, even if you amend your Amazon change of address, it won't go on to any pre-ordered items. So quite often what you have to do is cancel those items and reorder them once you've changed your address. So just something there to sort of be mindful of. But the important thing with change of address is really mail redirection. Now, some people will say, well, I'm not going to bother, I'll make sure I tell everybody, it's too expensive. But personally, I think this is one of the biggest things that you can do to protect yourself and make life easier. You don't want important posts going to your old address and missing out on things, and other people potentially opening it where either the people that are living there now or they decide to throw it away and somebody else opens it. It's definitely worth paying for it, even just for a few months. It takes the pressure off, and equally you know that you're still receiving everything. So those are the kind of key things around change of address. The other top tip that I would just add is a fact file. So whenever I've moved, I create like a little fact file of instruction manuals that I don't need to take with me, but things that are staying in the house to pass on to the new people, things like the boiler service record and things like that. Details that the council send with the bin days, just so that when the people move in, they know when bin days are and what they need to put out. And equally ask the people that you're buying the house from for the same details for the house that you're moving to. And also things like where the stopcock is. Last thing you want is to be on moving day, something's happened with the water and you have no idea where the stopcock is. And a nice touch, just leave a welcome to your new home card. You've enjoyed that house and somebody is now starting their next journey in your house. And just imagine how you'd feel if somebody had left you a card to welcome you to your new home. And that's personally something that I've done every time I've moved. I just imagine those people feeling stressed and arriving at their new home and just seeing something nice to welcome them to the next stage of their life. So that's the main tips for me on the admin and getting it all done. Next time, we're going to be talking about D-Day, moving day itself, and how to make that less stressful and run smoother. Again, as always, put any questions or comments below and I'll get back to you with any tips or responses that you need. And I'll see you next time in our next video.